Good evening and thanks for watching, everyone. I'm Katie Moore. This month marks 20 years since Hurricane Katrina. So many people have remarkable stories, and many of those include someone, usually a stranger, who went above and beyond to make a difference or even save a life. This is one of those stories. Except in this one, Meg Farah shows us that those former strangers now call each other family.
Happy birthday to you.
It's Christian Stewart's 20th birthday. His mother, Daniela Stewart, believes divine intervention is the reason this day could ever happen. It was July 2005. 19-year-old Daniela was working 2 jobs and glowing with joy over expecting her first baby in November.
I had serious pain, but it just felt like cramping pains. I didn't even know that, I was going into labor and dilating. The people that checked on me, it was like, oh my God, Miss Stewart, you're 9 centimeters dilated. You're about to have a baby. And I was in shock.
At only 26 weeks, Christian was born. He weighed 1 pound, 12 ounces.
And I just see a little tiny baby that's in the incubator because they had to, put oxygen and tube down his throat. I was just praying to God. I was like, I hope I don't lose my son.
Heart surgery soon followed on a boy you could hold in the palm of one hand.
Every day, morning and nighttime, even after I got off from work, I would literally walk from Battalion Street all the way to Napoleon, close by Claiborne, and go see my son at nighttime. It didn't matter if it was 11, 12 o'clock, the people would let me see him and I walked back home.
But the emotional agony this new mom felt was about to reach epic proportions.
You're looking at the breach itself. 400 feet of wall is missing.
Hurricane Katrina hit. New Orleans was devastated. Christian was in the NICU at Memorial Medical Center. Daniela was in New Orleans East.
The water just came through the house like a river. And I'm so short, and I'm like, saying in my mind, God, am I gonna make it? I just had a kid.
The water was quickly rising at Memorial, too. Christian was in an incubator there, his tiny lungs and very life depending on a mechanical ventilator for each and every breath. That ventilator only able to sustain life by power from backup generators. And the floodwaters were about to drown them out, too.
He was extremely sick at that time, when Katrina came and already got a significant chronic lung disease.
A few days into the aftermath misery, in the scalding temperatures and with little sleep, neonatologist Dr. Juan Gershanik and the medical team physically moved incubators up several floors and over to another building with a heliport on the roof.
We were told the helicopters were going to be there at around noon, and they still didn't show up. And I said, our babies are running out of, the machinery, and that will be the end of the ability to maintain them alive.
Dr. Gershanik then pleaded with a helicopter pilot dropping off supplies to take him and Christian to Women's Hospital in Baton Rouge.
And I said, sir, we need to go. These babies are very critical and they cannot wait any longer. He said, your incubator weighs 250 pounds. This won't go out more than a year or 2 and will fall down again.
So Dr. Gershanik took Christian out of the incubator. He put his tiny, frail body against his own skin to transfer his body heat. He loaded 2 oxygen tanks on the supply helicopter and hand-pumped the oxygen into Christian, never missing one breath, pinching him constantly to make sure he was alive. And then a little later, another scary moment. They needed to land and refuel.
I told the pilot after 10, 15 minutes, sir, what's going on. This baby need to get to Baton Rouge as soon as possible. And he showed me another 2 helicopters being refueled and say to me, Doc, these other helicopters are also trying to save lives, and they were here first.
That turned out to be a blessing. You see, that first oxygen tank was nearly empty. So while on the ground, the pilot helped the doctor connect to the second one. That would have been impossible on a loud, bumpy flight. After 2 hours, they made it to Women's Hospital in Baton Rouge. And after spending his first 4.5 months in a NICU, Christian went home weighing 6 whole pounds with ambitions greater than his cognitive delays.
No, Mr. Cray, bienvenido.
Now, every single year, Daniela, who now lives in Houston with her 3 children, travels back to New Orleans to spend Christian's birthday with the Krishanics.
World War II museum right there.
My kids love him, I love him, and we're always forever grateful for him, and we'll always look at him like family. If it wasn't for him, especially, God giving them the ability to be able to help my son would not be here today.
Well, I think he's a good person. He helped me out through the years and made me a better person.
You can have relatives by blood relatives, and you got the other kind of relative called relatives for love.
While it was a personal health storm, along with a community-wide destructive one that brought these 2 families together, every cloud, yes, even the raging ones from Katrina, has a silver lining.
Happy birthday to you.
Meg Farris, WWL, Louisiana.
What an incredible story. And Dr. Krishanic says one of the things he treasures most about coming to the U.S. decades ago is the opportunity the country gives everyone to do good for others. And in return, he has lived with great satisfaction.